And to further add on the subject of most important things going on in the world now, from Germany to Ukraine to Poland to Russia to USA, we we thought we escaped Operation Warp Speed, Operation Psycho Trump, Psycho Donald, Psycho Pence, Psycho Pompeo, Space Command, military everywhere force, greatness, uh, greatness squad, greatness achievers, which have nothing to do with anything other than military. Which I'm sure their own military is wondering what the fuck is going on. Aren't we gonna go back to watching basketball and sports and movies and entertainment and stuff like that? To see this political charade, not charade, a political ploy and attack. It's a political attack on the lives of innocent civilians who are expecting to go back to living in freedom after beating this goddamn virus that's driving everybody insane. Suddenly, we hear rumors that Russia has to defend itself from Ukraine becoming a NATO state, when the whole world wanted to go back to living in the opposite of what Donald Trump wanted, which was to go back to living in, I guess, socialism and having privacy in our lives and not being worried about the news all the time and spending more time at work, or spending more time with the kids, or spending more time doing artwork. Now we're seriously in a situation where no country should really be asking to make more nuclear weapons, as it was just 1 week before this whole Ukraine thing started that it would look like Joe Biden and Putin were going to pull out of they were both going to end making more nuclear weapons. And we're going to live in a nuclear-free world. And for Ukraine to be asking for freedom is just completely, if all these countries around the world are asking for freedom and help from NATO, but the one country that needs a little freedom and they don't ever ask for the Ukraine doesn't ask for it. The person who really needs help is Daryush Shokof. He needs help because his country is not free, and he is a persecuted artist who hasn't even been able to get a visa to the United States to make his case known to the whole world, where all the filmmakers go and all the rappers are and all the singers are and all the politicians become famous. You people have refused his visa for the last 20 years. You haven't let him get into the USA to make any movies in the last 20 years, even though he's had contracts signed with Hollywood to make movies in Hollywood, and even though he's a great film director. And even though because he's an Iranian. He's an Iranian who is an expat from Iran and hasn't been to Iran in 40 years or so. I'm sitting here thinking, why is Zelensky not asking for a cultural revolution to where my uncle finally gets to make movies with Bruce Willis, or movies with Charlize Theron, or movies with Keanu Reeves, or movies with Dwayne Johnson. And when is this Iranian person who hasn't had a chance to express his views on culture and arts to the whole world, which has given only people from the Islamic Republic of Iran a chance to express their views and culture in movies and at the film festivals and award shows? When is it that people are gonna allow him to just be a normal filmmaker and not have to be considered, not have to be accused of being I don't know. I mean, being whatever it is that being, when is it that a taboo, or I don't know, a person who's not allowed to uh, have the same rights as a artist that everyone else has? It's the last 20 years of the world has been the socialist, communist, uh, anti truth takeover. And it really is. That's another thing that they're worried about in Ukraine, is that, I mean, these are the same socialists that are robbing and stealing from their countries and their governments, and making poverty happen more. Homes prices go up higher. Uh, there's no freedom in movies and television. It's all part of the same establishment. It's what Trump was calling, like, the same establishment. That's the same thing that was happening in Ukraine, and he was even asking for nuclear weapons, and to become part of NATO, which would give him like a fascist dictator's position for the next 20 years. Instead of saying, instead of talking about stuff that matters, they put these guys. I think they put these acting fascist people that fuck up the things that people need in place, in times where you could have done things that mattered more. I mean, I think they got rid of Trump because of that. Because he well, they got rid of Trump because he wasn't the person. Forget Trump, but whatever. I mean, it's the world. The war. It's probably too late, and the war's already started. So I don't know what to say now. But oh well. I guess that's what's gonna happen. That's where the world. That's what the people aren't protesting for anymore. The people aren't protesting anymore. The people thought good things are going to happen, and well, it could be a good thing. It could not be a good thing. I don't know. I'm siding with Russia. Forget USA, because obviously the political system in the USA has been so unfair that there's no way I would ever go to it again, or there's no way I would ever call it a friendly or desirable country or establishment to even talk to anymore. I mean, all they deal with is sanctions and trying to impose the fake war and the fake wars of economics and socialism against people that they just don't want to make famous, if they don't want to see their points of view, and they want to run around the world playing wars and all this other stuff. And I hate it. And it should be more artistic and more free.